Kahtya Tehnsion has the heart of Nebraska and the glamour of South Florida. She became known as the wigstress of Wilton Manors, and that isn't just a cute nickname, baby. Her wig videos are amazing, and her work has been sworn by some of the world-famous drag queens, okay? She's also a resident at Palace South Beach, and you know I love my AJ over there. Hi, AJ! And now you're the show director at No Manors, where you've put together the glam girls of No Manors and given a new home to many of the performers who suddenly lost their jobs when Aquaplex closed down recently. Kahtya, you know that feeling, you know, of a place closing down. Let's start there. When Lucky's closed for what was supposed to be renovations.
Yeah.
All right. This was Lucky's West Palm Beach, if you are following, right? Okay. You were putting together a cast there. You were building something, right? And then the doors just never reopened.
Yeah.
You were also very open on social media about what that experience was like. So when you started seeing the posts from the Aquaplex performers and you knew what was going on, did you immediately think to yourself, oh shit, here we go again.
Yes, absolutely. So like, mind you, I was not the show director at Lucky's. Velvet was the show director.
Oh, my apologies for that. Okay, thank you for the correction.
Yeah, no. I just don't want to take that away from her because she did do a lot of work on that. And I was one of the show hosts, but we were in charge of booking our own cast. And so I was putting things together, and my show was the only show at Lucky's where I made an effort to make sure there was at least one drag king or male performer on cast every single time.
Smart.
Because I mean, they have an audience. They're great people.
People want to see their talent as well. I mean, Ground Zero is one of the most talented dudes I've ever met. How are you not going to have Oh, girl, LA
special place in my heart.
Woo! Sorry, you just made my heart pitter patter. You know why LA the King, right? You know.
But like we were just getting the ball rolling because you know, the transition into Pride Holdings Group, the community up there was very taken aback by it, and they didn't trust it. West Palm Beach has a very different kind of culture where, you know, they don't depend on what we do down here. They are very
They're their own entity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they will support local. So like constantly booking people from Fort Lauderdale and Miami, they like it, but they prefer local entertainment no matter how good or bad they are. It's local.
Yeah.
And so during the shows, it was really starting to pick up and the ball was really rolling. And then January comes around because we did the New Year's Eve show. Fantastic night.
At Lucky's. Okay.
And I think it was open for like a week after that. And then actually Ground Zero was called in for a mandatory meeting. And it wasn't all of us. It was just Mary Jane, Ground Zero, and then the bartenders and staff. Okay. And then the manager. And they're like, hey, so we're going to be closing for renovation. It's going to be about 2 months. And then we're going to reopen. And then they said, take all your stuff out now. And so they did. And they promised everyone jobs. And then next thing you know, we're out of job. And we had to find out through a third party. The original owner of Lucky's was still on the lease. And, you know, we were working at the company he was working at the time. And he was like, you guys aren't reopening. Because then
from him, you found out.
Yeah. And mind you, it had already been a month. And we're like, okay, so we're hearing that we're not going to reopen in 2 months. It's now going to be June. And then he's telling us we're closing. So I had to reach out to people directly and be like, why aren't you telling us this? And I think to this day, bartenders still haven't officially been told. Like, they know.
Up.
Yeah.
And at that point, I remember seeing your social media posts. I think that you had waited, right? Because you were like, you know, let me see what happens. And then you still are not, you're not that queen that goes on a rampage and like,
not anymore.
You know, well, whatever. We've learned at our old age, in our caftan era,
to relax.
We're more reserved on social media for certain things now, you know? But you started posting it because you felt it was important for people to know.
Yep. Because the same thing was happening. We had our checks bounced. Magically, the account was hacked for our pay. So then we had to get paper checks, which were then personal checks. And then,
did they say the company's name on it? Or was it a name of a person?
It was a name of a person.
Okay. Was it one of the Barretts?
I don't know. I didn't look that closely.
Okay.
I should have. It's probably in my house somewhere still. And then they were like, well, because we were hacked, our bank account's not going to be good for a while. So you're going to get paid in 2 weeks. And, you know, at we were just seeing the same pattern. And, you know, I told one of my friends who works at Aqua when the first eviction notice went up. And she was like, well, they're telling us that we're going to be fine. And I said, don't fall for it. Because it's the same thing that's happening. Because
you become the faces. You become the faces. Okay, that's the thing, right? Somebody buys these things, but then it's the queens that have to put this face, right?
Yeah.
Like Amanda, Velvet, to my face, and I believe them. Okay, I'm not saying they were lying because I believe that they were told something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they in their heart believed it.
They lied to all of us.
And I would go, are you sure, Mama? And I swear to God, Faye, you know? And you could tell that this is their truth, you know?
And this is the harsh reality that I've learned in, you know, the gay nightlife world is owners, at the end of the day, they feel like they don't owe us shit. They really don't. And the reality is so long as they paid us, they technically don't. And that's a harsh reality that as 1099 contractors, we have to remember that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a morality that comes behind being a business owner.
Yes, and especially when you're gay, especially when you are LGBT.
You're attacking your own
holy
people.
Crap. Like, it's like, oh my God. Okay, like I said, I'm jumping around.
No, you're good.
Like, I'm just happy to have you in bed, and I can have you in bed for freaking 3 hours, honestly.
Listen, I love laying in bed. I'm down.
Oh my goodness. So how did it feel when you were able, when did it happen that you said, okay, I have this going on at No Manors. I want to put a cast together. I want to give my sisters a place to work.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So originally we had shows at No Manors a year and a half ago, and it went very well. But then we lost a sponsor, and that sponsor went and sponsored another bar that ended up closing. So we stopped having shows for a bit. And then when Aquaplex announced its closing, I looked at the manager one day because my trivia night at No Manors wasn't dead, but it wasn't doing enough for me to justify it. So I looked at him and I said, if I sacrifice my trivia to help pay for this show, we need to give these girls a home. And, you know, in my entire career, I've been very like community and justice and, you know, morality first. Sometimes at my own expense. And, you know, I've done things like this in, you know, Nebraska where, you know, build something for the community. And this was a moment where I knew, you know, the girls going back into the Wilton scene after being at Aqua and Lips for so long, it's going to disrupt the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But also now everyone's going to struggle. So at one point I was like, if everyone's struggling, no one's making ends meet, including the girls who just lost their job, including the girls who've been dedicating their careers at Alibi and Pub. Why don't we create a home? And the owner of No Manors was like, absolutely. And it was immediate.
So I can't name the owners of No Manors because I've been introduced to them at least 30 times and I never remember their name. But I will always remember how welcoming and how nice they are and how from the back of the DJ booth, they've said, Faye, if there's anything you're working on and you need a space, please come over here for community or for you.
Yes.
You know, and that's how they were since the place opened, you know, and I've heard that same story from other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when No Manors opened, they declared that they would be the bar on Wilton that would have no drag.
Yes. I remember that.
You know,
and that was when they had an old GM who's not there.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so
it was
that
mainly
answers
the GM.
my question.
Yeah.
Because again, that didn't kind of equate with how much the owners kind of wanted to be there for community. You know what I mean? So that explains it.
Yeah.
So
the old GM, while he was nice and he got most of the job done.
Yeah.
He was just very against drag and there was no rhyme or reason behind it.
Yeah.
To the point where it came up very abrasive. But then, you know, he was let go and Nick without a K, he started becoming the GM and No Manors, all the decor and stuff. A lot of it was his work and he did a great job. He helped push for the shows, advertising, and he really cared about us. He was probably, in my experience, the best GM I've ever worked for.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. In Florida, at least.
Yeah.
He cared about us and it felt so good to be cared about. And then when he ended up moving on to another career, Steven picked up from that and he's doing Steven's the owner. And he's
Hi Steven.
Hi Steven.
I know your name now. I am so sorry, dude. You know that every time I see you, I make it a point to go out of my way to say hi to you.
He's such a cutie
like,
too.
No, he's adorable. And that's why it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Okay. I've done events at No Manors, right?
Mhm.
It's welcoming, it's warm. I love the lighting, but I don't remember there being a stage.
We just built one. So
Girl!
yeah.
I didn't know you were like IKEA handy
Oh
like
no,
that.
not me, baby. Girl, I know how to. Do I do manual labor? Nope.
Okay, me neither. Yeah.
So when we were putting this together, I said, in this moment, we need to put money in the pockets of people in the community. I don't want to hire Home Depot. I don't want to hire IKEA. And so, I knew someone, Petunia Slims,
Okay.
who has, stage equipment building
I love
experience. So, we hired her, and it's almost done. We got to put finishing touches on it still.
No problem.
So we're paying her to do it.
I love that. And you're also employing somebody in community. Like, how awesome is that, All right. So the Glam Girls.
Yes.
Okay. The Glam Girls is the name of that night's show.
Yeah.
Right? Who are the Glam Girls?
The Glam Girls, oh my God, there's 11 of us, including me. I love that.
Okay.
So we have Nicole T. Phillips.
Okay, love me some
Francesca
Nicole.
Richards. Yes. And then we have Dequoia Love Dupree.
Nice.
We have Nicolette, who's our resident hostess for the Illusion show every third Thursday.
Love that.
Then we have Maya Iman LePage, the Queen of Flips.
Yes.
Love her. We also have Desiree St. James, who she wasn't an Aquaplex girl, but she was moved out here from Vegas by Senior Frogs, and then 3 months later,
oh my God,
they
yes.
closed down their brunch.
Yes. Who did I speak? I spoke to TP Lords about her, and she was telling me how incredible she was, and she moved here from Vegas for that gig. Again, this is what happens in drag world, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, and that cast closed and had to find other jobs
like
too.
almost 4 months in, maybe 3 months in.
Yeah.
And
but she was wonderful, and I'm so glad she stayed around.
Yeah. And then now we also have China Stacks Hilton.
Miss China.
Beautiful.
Miss China.
Beautiful.
Miss China. I love Miss China. That's another one. She's another one that she is always so transparent.
Yeah.
She don't give an F. Okay.
Nope.
She's like, look, this is what's happening to me. I'm going to keep it under wraps for 1, 2, done. Look
it's
what
admirable.
you did.
Yeah, it's admirable. And what you see is what you get, and not a lot of people are like that.
Yeah. She's amazing.
We also have Mindy Michelle Lenore.
Nice.
And we have Vaz Allen.
Miss Vaz.
And Asheria Price.
Oh wow. What a cast.
Yeah.
I mean, these are pageant queens, drag race folks. I mean, like, these are women who have done the damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and have the receipts to show it.
Yeah, and we're really developing a family over there. The opening night, I recently posted a video on TikTok. I haven't posted on Facebook and Instagram yet, where at the end of the show, because it was busy opening night, and I was just overwhelmed with emotion because you also have to remember in July, my home bar in Nebraska also shut down that had been open for 9 years. And I helped build that bar. I was the first show director, the first, title holder of the bar. And when I went back, people were like, if it weren't for the things you built here, we wouldn't be able to do this here.
For 9 years, honey. That's
it moved
a long time.
me. I mean, I was there for 4 years of it before I moved here. And so, and there was a difference between Lucky's closing and that feeling.
Of course.
And then something that I helped build closing.
Of course.
And it was like my soul being ripped out.
So that first opening night when you saw everybody there, were you touched?
It felt like that again. And I don't want to get emotional, but at the end of the night, I was like, in the last 12 months, I've seen 9 gay bars close across the country. Because when I was coming home from Nebraska, when my home bar closed, because we did a closing weekend, there was a bar in Kentucky that closed down. There was a bar in Kansas that shut down. There was a bar in California that shut down. And then there was a bar in Georgia that shut down. Wow. None of this even included any of the Pride Holdings locations that they've been liquidating.
Yeah.
And so 9 businesses is
a
kind
lot
of
for our community.
And it's a low guesstimate because I'm sure there's others that I don't even know about.
Of course.
So, I told everyone, you all being here, it matters a lot because it's hard to see people I know and, people in our community across the country and across the world losing families and homes. And so people coming out to No Manors, it feels like a very special thing to me because I'm doing all the marketing. I'm making all the videos. I'm making all the flyers, lineups, schedules. I have a whole Google Drive of everyone's content and music. That's a lot of work.
And that people don't know how much work it is. Just to do social media, for me, for FayWhat, right? That's a whole job on its own,
It's
right?
hard. It's not easy.
So, and that's just me, right? I have my assets, I have my pictures, but dealing with 11 people and their promos and their pictures and what they need and want, that's a lot.
And by the end of September, every girl's going to have their own individual reels of their performances, their runways, and stuff like that, so that they can be highlighted and people can see it. And,
I love that. I love that.
Thank the Lord for London Adore coming and getting professional footage of our stuff and sending me links to be able to use. Because,
I love that.
You know, it takes a village.
Listen, London is another one. I'm calling girls out today. I'm sorry. I'm calling girls out. London Adore gave me these red, beautiful gloves that I wear around the house when I'm pissed. I just wear them around the house. Yeah. But anyway, London is another one that, like, you know, she wasn't as seasoned as some of the other girls that I had met when I had met her, right? But she has no hair on her tongue, which means in Spanish that makes sense, right? It doesn't make sense in English, right? Ella no tiene pelos en la lengua, which means another one that she will say what she feels.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're gonna wrong her, she's gonna go and put it on social media and be like, "What?
Yeah.
What?"
And mind you, she doesn't post often, so when she does, it has an impact.
Exactly, because her posts are usually for her job, like they should be.
Yeah. And you know, London was one of the people I had asked as well to be part of the Glam Girls, because she also worked at No Manors, or at
Aquaplex, yeah.
And she actually declined because she was afraid there would be a conflict of interest because she hosts 3 nights a week at Alibi, which was very admirable of her.
That's super admirable. Because that's another thing, another blockade or an obstacle that, you know, queens endure, because especially when it comes to a neighborhood like Wilton Manors, there will be bars that will say, you can work here, but you can't work there.
Actually,
you know?
That's something we've been struggling with.
And that's, you know, and I know that, you know, our house has that to a certain degree. I know that Palace has that to a certain degree.
Palace doesn't have that
at all. That I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
took the girls coming together because we have to be very realistic. While you want girls to be exclusive, you're not paying girls enough to be exclusive.
Yeah.
Nowhere in South Florida pays a girl's bills unless they're working 3 or 4 brunches.
Exactly.
A week.
And let's talk about these brunches. These brunches are 2 or 3 sittings. Okay. And if they've got 2 of those shows, then they've performed at least 12 times, right? 2 times each show, 6, blah, blah, blah. You know, and not all girls get that.
No.
You know, you get 1 gig a week. What are you doing with that?
Yeah. And like, so I had a few girls at No Manors who were like, hey, we've been told we can't work A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because we work here. And I was like, that is so sad because like you guys just lost your job and now you're being expected to choose loyalties at 3 different bars.
Yeah.
4 different bars. And mind you, they're asking you to quit this job so you can do a $50 booking there, or you can do an $80 booking there, or you can do a $150 booking there, but it's once a month. Yeah. And it's like, why? And mind you, this isn't being applied to the singers. The singers are also staples in every single bar, and they also have gigs at every single bar once a week on different nights. And they're not being told the same, you need to be loyal like we are. And we're much more saturated.
And mind you, you also have to do a lot more to prepare for your gigs, you know?
Well, I wouldn't say that because as someone who used to sing, rehearsing that stuff, it takes a lot of time.
No,
and it's a
you're
toll
absolutely
on your
right.
voice.
You're absolutely right. There is rehearsals, and there's all that kind of stuff.
And learning words.
That it entails, and, you know, but
like, also, like, why ask people who are already hurt in our community to hurt themselves more?
Yeah,
it's just weird.
You're pushing them out. Yeah. You're wanting them to not be queens anymore, and we need our queens. Remember, I mean, our foundation is queens. Remember that.
Yes.
You know,
and do not forget, in Florida, an actual 1099 employee is not an employee. A 1099 contracted person is someone who's not told when and where to be, how to be, what to do, and on a schedule. Yeah. That is an employee. That comes with pay and benefits. That comes with more that you have to pay. If you're telling these girls and kings and singers that they need to have all these requirements they have to do on a routine, that's an employee.
100%.
That's Sam's Club.
100%. Look, I host at every single bar. Okay, I'm a 1099 employee. Okay, if somebody were to tell me, I'm going to use Hunters because I love you, Mark, right? If Hunter said to me, listen, you're here enough. We can't have you do anything at the pub anymore for the pet project. You know what I mean? That's what it's basically like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not fair. And let's remind everyone, these queens don't have benefits.
Nope.
They get sick. It's on their own dime.
No insurance.
No insurance. I mean, like, these are things that they also have to pay with that money.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, mind you, right now the housing market is more expensive than New York and South Florida. So you're expecting us to do the most for the least, and then also telling us we can't work anywhere else.
You're pushing girls to find another career.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Yeah. And, you know, the term I've been being told is, you know, you're residential here. You're not a residential anywhere if it doesn't come with the pay of a residential.
100%. 100%. So the Glam Girls perform Thursday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Right? With Sunday brunches coming soon.
Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
Right? What is going on with these brunches? Like, we need a good brunch, a good Sunday brunch on the drive. So
where we're at right now is if we can keep generating, you know, a good clientele to come, which we need y'all to come and to keep these girls employed, keep money in their pockets so that, you know, bad things don't happen to us. You know, bills are a lot.
Yep.
The more you come, the faster we'll be able to get to the brunch.
I love that. Okay.
So we have a plan. We have actually plan A, B, and C because I love having backups. And so once we have a more steady clientele, people start coming to the shows and hanging out with us, the faster we'll be able to get to the brunch aspect of drag at No Manors. And I really think that'll be fabulous because, like you said, there's not a lot of, you know, consistent brunches in Wilton. There used to be more.
Yeah.
But I think there's 2 now.
Yeah, I think there's only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Before we end our interview, I wanted to talk about your wigstress talents. Okay, because every time I'm on TikTok, I see one of your videos, and I'm like, this girl, my God, like, she's killing it. And she'll put on the wig, no makeup. She'll put on the wig and be like,
see how fabulous it is.
Look how wonderful it is without me trying.
This is not an example. This is a shake and go because I'm betting. This is my real hair.
This is her bed hair. Okay. Have you always done wigs? You're so comfortable in front of the camera with your wig, you know?
I'm always comfortable in front of a camera. I love it. Back in the day, I would say 8 years ago now. Yeah, 8 years ago, I was buying wigs from other wig stylists. And back then, there were less wig stylists. There was more of a monopoly on, you know, the source. And I had paid for this wig, and I knew I overpaid.
How much did you pay?
It was almost $300. And I said I wanted a triple stack. And it showed up, and I said, this is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of paying for this. So I started learning on my own, some tutorials, asking friends who are wig stylists, a lot of trial and error. And so finally, after 2 years of styling wigs, I went back to that wig, and I looked at it, and I took it apart. I said, I knew it. There's a wig missing. And so, like, I got tired of kind of being ripped off. And now I'm not saying my wigs are the best in the world. But they are indestructible for the most part.
Indestructible!
Like, there's this one drag queen from Nebraska who did not take care of her wigs at all. Like, I saw one tumbling down the hill one day. And so I had to learn how to make my wigs what I called treasure proof because her name was Treasure.
Okay, I love that.
And like most of my wigs, I can wear them for 40, 50 shows in a row without having to like reset it and wash it and just quick brush through the ends and still looks almost as new or close to new.
Which queens could we look at their hair and go, that's Kahtya's hair?
There's quite a few. If you look at Jessica Channing at Scandals, about half her wigs are from me.
Okay, she's got good wigs. Yeah. She don't play around with her wigs.
At all. And in that heat, it's hot there.
Yeah.
Maya has a few from me. Kennedy Davenport has a few from me. Susie Toot has an updo that she wore on Drag Race from me.
Ooh, nice.
She wore it for the roast with the orange updo. And then locally, Akasha O'Hara Lords has some from me.
Nice.
London has quite a few from me as well.
Nice. Okay, so these girls respect you and your wig status.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm very, very grateful because, you know, sometimes I can be slow because, you know, we're all working.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But, you know, perfection takes time.
Do you make clothes?
I know how to sew.
Oh, cute. Okay.
I can't say I'm like great at it. I can make a nice swimsuit.
Oh, well, I mean,
I can make a nice dress.
What is it? The leotard, right? That Drag Race hates, right?
Yes.
You can make that.
Mine's a slingshot. But I also can make a dress. Yeah. I'm very grateful to have Ground in my life because he's a great seamster.
No, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I remember when Athena Dion got on the show, she bought 20 hours of learning how to sew because she was scared shitless about getting on that show that way, you know? So,
and I always told myself if I ever got on that show, I would take a sewing class because while I know how to sew, I don't know the ins and outs. I know tips and tricks. I know how to do something a little fast.
Yeah.
And I know how to make something for a gig, something for a stage.
Something quick.
And if it doesn't look good, throw stones on it.
Yeah. TP Lords had posted about somebody that was starting a new thing about teaching people how to sew. And I was like, please sign me up. I'm here for it.
Well, I mean, I remember back in the day before YouTube and stuff, which, I mean, when I started drag, YouTube was just starting to pop off, but I was in a very conservative area. I used to go to Goodwill, take a bunch of things, tear it apart, hot glue it together, or hand sew it together, or staple it together, and make outfits from that. And, I was dirt poor when I started. I was working 11 hours a week at Starbucks back then.
Wow.
But rent was also $650 for a 2-bed. Bath. Yeah.
Girl.
So, and that was considered expensive back then.
No, I could imagine. But
yeah, like there's a craft, an art to the craft that I feel like has been missed because like I miss the upcycling. I miss looking at. I mean, I used to dumpster dive for some of my stuff and some of my materials.
Yeah.
So,
no, and you still can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think like I go to Goodwill. Goodwill's like my therapy, right? Funny enough. And the things that like, I also have a Rent the Runway subscription. And so when I'm out hosting events, people don't know which one it is. They don't know if it's a Goodwill find or if it's a Rent the Runway. They really don't. Because again, it's about how you wear the garment.
Exactly.
How you style.
Do you use it?
How are you going to style it? You know? Like, don't look like you're wearing somebody else's clothes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, don't let the clothes wear you.
Don't let the clothes wear you. And somewhere that the clothes is not going to wear them is at the Glam Girls, okay? Yes. So the Glam Girls of No Manors, Thursdays and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. with Sunday brunches coming soon. So make sure that you go see them. Tip your queens and support your entertainers. Kahtya, where can everybody follow you and follow No Manors?
So you can catch me on all social media platforms at Kahtya Tehnsion, and it's spelled, this is always the fun part.
Yeah, this is it.
KAHTYATEHNSION. Kahtya Tehnsion. It's like Kahtya Tehnsion.
Why did you have to make it so hard for people? Why couldn't you just be Kahtya and call it a day? Kahtya.
There's already a Kahtya.
Kahtya Tehnsion.
So, and the funny part is, after I had been doing drag for 3 years, there's another girl from DC, and her name is Kahtya with a J.
Oh.
Attention.
Oh shit.
And she was like, hey, sister. I said, hey, twinnie.
I love it. All right. Well, make sure that you follow Kahtya Tehnsion on all social media outlets. Make sure that you go to No Manors, support the girls, support this new show. It's going to be here for a long, long time. Yes. Thank you so much to the folks at No Manors for opening their hearts and their doors to this incredible new show. I'm going to go. I can't wait to go. I think I'm going to go on a Thursday. And I'm
absolutely.
Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You let me know. We'll take a shot.
Yay! So thank you for being here, Miss Kahtya Tehnsion. Although you're actually not going anywhere because you're stuck in bed with me. Okay. She's stuck in bed with me for the rest of the show. All right. It is what it is. Help us continue.
She makes it sound like a punishment.
Right. Slap. She likes that stuff. Help us continue telling our LGBTQ+ stories by liking and subscribing to the FayWhat Show.